don't rush, I don't chase, I don't knock, I arrive. I learned time from empty rooms where clocks forgot my name. I watched fast men burn themselves, trying hard to look like flames. I moved slow through heavy nights while panic learned to run. I stayed when leaving felt easier. Now I stand where I belong. I don't compete with hunger, I don't argue with the past. I let the moment carry me, and I make it last. I don't rush, I arrive. I don't rush, I arrive. While they're reaching for tomorrow, I'm already inside. I don't rush, I arrive. I don't rush, I arrive. I don't force the door to open, I let time decide. I've seen speed kill good intentions. I've seen loud men fade to dust. I've seen patience build a throne from the ruins of distrust. Every step I take is measured, every breath is under control. I don't move unless I'm certain this ground can hold my soul. I don't flinch at hesitation, I don't fear the waiting game. I learned silence grows heavier when you earn your name. I don't rush, I arrive. I don't rush, I arrive. While they drown in motion, I stay dry inside. I don't rush, I arrive. I don't rush, I arrive. I don't chase what isn't ready, I survive. They mistake calm for doubt, but this pace was born from nights I barely made it out. They think waiting is weakness, like I ever wanted more. But rushing once almost killed me, so I don't anymore. Not because I'm strong, but because I learned the cost of getting it wrong. I don't rush, I arrive. I don't rush, I arrive. If I'm standing here breathing, I already survived. I don't rush, I arrive. I don't rush. need to be alive. Be alive. Be alive. Fast men disappear. I stay. You hear my steps before you hear my voice. Heavy steps down a long hallway. Floor remembers where I've been. I don't rush my conversation. I let silence enter first. I've been loud when I was younger, trying hard to feel alive. Now I speak like I mean something, and I leave the noise behind. I don't interrupt the moment. I don't sharpen every word. Now I'm talking, it's important. If I'm quiet, it's deserved. Heavy steps, soft voice. That's the way I move. Heavy steps, soft voice. I don't need to prove. Heavy steps, soft voice. Every word is a way. I don't speak to be remembered. I speak to resonate. Resonate. I've seen anger ruin kings. I've seen whispers run the room. I've seen power lean forward, just to listen, just to bloom. I don't decorate my presence. I don't dress it up with pride. I let calm sit at the table while fear waits outside. I don't argue with impatience. I don't raise my tone. If you hear me getting quiet, you should probably listen close. Heavy steps, soft voice. That's how I survive. Heavy steps, soft voice. I stay sharp, I stay alive. Heavy steps, soft voice. I don't chase control. I let it settle in the room. I let it take its role. I'm hiding, like I'm scared to say my name. But my voice learned how to rest after screaming through the pain. They think volume equals courage. They mistake calm for fear. But every step I take reminds me I'm still standing here. Heavy steps,
soft voice.
that's the balance I found. I don't need to win the argument, I just need solid ground. Heavy steps,
Soft voice.
I walk in, I breathe. Heavy steps, soft voice, I let him come to me. Heavy steps,
Soft voice.
nothing left to prove. If you hear me speaking softly, you should listen to the room. Listen to the room. Listen. Loud men demand attention. Quiet men command it. Storms taught me something no one else could. I learned silence from storms, not from peace or prayer. When everything was breaking loud, I learned how to stay there. I watched panic lose its meaning when screaming didn't help. I learned quiet isn't weakness, it's control you teach yourself. I don't argue with the weather, I don't curse the rain. I let it pass through my bones and leave behind the chain. I learned silence from storms, from nights that wouldn't end. I learned silence from storms, when noise stopped being a friend. I learned silence from storms, when nothing else was safe. I didn't come out fearless, flame I'll contain. Contain. I've seen calm break under pressure. I've seen strong men fold. I stayed still while the world shook. Let the truth unfold. I didn't hide from the thunder. I didn't run from the sound. I stood right in the middle till it burned itself down. I don't rush to explain the damage. I don't decorate the pain. If you wanna know my strength, listen to what remains. I learned silence from storms, not from comfort or control. I learned silence from storms, when chaos took its toll. I learned silence from storms, when words just fell apart. I stopped talking to survive, started listening to my heart. Like I close myself away. But silence is where I met myself and decided I would stay. They think storms only destroy, leave nothing standing tall. But storms taught me what to keep by taking everything else off. I learned silence from storms, not to disappear, but to hear myself clearly when fear got loud in here. learned silence from storms, from the worst nights of my life. I don't introduce myself. They already know the sound. I didn't build my name overnight. It took years to pronounce. Every letter paid in silence, every vow weighed me down. I've been called worse than forgotten. I've been tested by the truth. Now my name walks in before me, and the room already moves. I don't decorate my story, I don't polish what it costs. If you feel something shift right now, that's the weight you almost lost. My name carries weight. My name carries weight. I don't lift it with my mouth. I let time translate. My name carries weight. My name carries weight. I don't say it twice, already resonate. Resonate. I've seen names lose their meaning from being thrown around. I kept mine close to the ground, let it grow without a sound. I didn't trade it for attention, I didn't sell it for a win. Now when it lands inside a sentence, you can feel the flow give in. I don't raise it like a weapon, I don't hide it like a scar. I just stand where it belongs and let it travel far. My name carries weight. My name carries weight. I don't need to spell it out. You already feel the space. My name carries weight. My name carries weight. When it enters conversation, everything recalibrates. They think a name is just a sound, something easy to replace. But mine remembers every night I chose restraint over escape. They think weight comes from reputation, from rumors passing through. but mine was built on showing up when nobody else would though. My name carries weight, not from pride, not from fame. It's heavy 'cause it stayed intact while every field was faced. My name carries weight, my name carries weight. I don't need to raise my voice, the silence knows my face. There is
I used to chase what moved, now I choose what stays. I've chased approval down long roads, watched it disappear. I've chased moments that felt alive, then left me here. I learned desire runs in circles when it's driven by fear. Now I stand still long enough to see what's real. I don't lean toward urgency, I don't answer every call. If it's meant to meet me here, it won't run at all. I don't chase, I choose. I don't chase, I choose. I let the noise keep moving while I stay rooted. I don't chase, I choose. I don't chase, I choose. If it costs me my peace, it's not the truth, not the truth. I've watched men exhaust themselves, running from the quiet. I've watched hunger wear a crown and call it right. I don't confuse momentum with meaning anymore. Some doors don't need pursuit, they need restraint at the core. I don't rush into alignment, I don't force the fit. If it doesn't sit with silence, I don't sit with it. I don't chase, I choose. I don't chase, I choose. I don't borrow someone else's pace, I use my own rules. I don't chase, I choose. I don't chase, I choose. defines my future. They think chasing looks like hunger, like it proves you care. But choosing is the discipline of knowing what belongs where. They think restraint is missing out, like silence leaves you thin. But peace grows heavy in the chest when you let it in. I don't chase, I choose, not from pride, not from fear, but because my life got quieter and finally clear. I don't chase, I choose. I don't chase, I choose. If I walk away calmly, that's the proof. I don't chase, I choose. I don't chase, I choose. I don't run toward desire, I walk toward truth. Toward truth. Toward truth. Chasing is noise, choosing is power. They never hear me coming, they just feel it. I don't wear gold on my finger, I don't shout my name out loud. I learned my lessons in the corners where broken men don't make a sound. I've been early, I've been patient, I've been late with empty hands. I've been the man they never noticed, standing quiet with a plan. I don't knock on open doors, I don't beg to be believed. I just walk in like I belong and let the silence speak for me. The room goes silent when I enter, silent when I enter. The room goes silent when I enter, like they already know who I am. The room goes silent when I enter, silent when I enter. I don't say a word, but they understand. They understand. Yeah, they understand. I've been laughed at by the fearless, I've been trusted by the weak, I've I've been breaking at the surface while I stayed calm underneath. I watch men talk themselves to power. I watch kings lose it all. I learned control is always quieter than a fist against the wall. I don't explain where I've been. I don't defend what I've done. Every scar is well behaved, every battle already won. The room goes silent when I enter. Silent when I enter. The room goes silent when I enter. Like they already know who I am. The room goes silent when I enter. Silent when I enter. I don't raise my voice, but they understand. They think silence means I'm dangerous. They think calm is confidence grown. But they don't see the nights I sat alone, wondering if I'd survive my own. They think power followed me here, like it was given like a crown. But silence came from losing everything and still not laying down. Room goes silent when I enter, not because I'm proud or strong. The room goes silent when I enter, 'cause they hear what I've lived through all along. The room goes silent when I enter. Silent when I enter, not 'cause I'm feared, not 'cause I'm known. The room goes silent when I enter. Silent when I enter. They feel the weight of a man who survived alone. Survived alone. I didn't come to impress the room. I came to outgrow it. I don't carry the fire anymore, just what's left of it. I burn for things that never stayed, lit nights that left me cold. I fed the flame with everything I had to hold. Now all that heat has settled down into something great. I don't show it when I walk around, but it's in my way. I don't scatter what remains, I keep it close, I let it wait. Not to hurt me when I move, just to remind me what I gave. Ashes in my pocket, my pocket. I don't shake them free. They don't burn me anymore. They anchor me. They anchor me. I've watched men pretend they heal by forgetting the flame, but forgetting never taught me how to stay the same. I don't wear the smoke on my skin. I don't smell like regret. But every step I take now knows the heat I met. I don't pray for the fire again. I don't curse its name. I thank it for the damage that taught me how to remain. Ashes in my pocket from nights I couldn't save. Ashes in my pocket from every risk I gave. Ashes in my pocket. I walk slow, I'm free. I don't need the blaze to know what it did to me. Teaches hunger, ash teaches weight. One shows you how to want, the other how to wait. They ask me why I'm quieter, why I don't ignite. Because I've learned what lasts longer in the light. Ashes in my pocket, no smoke in my eye, just a steady understanding of what survived. Ashes in my pocket, I don't throw them away. They remind me who I was before I learned to stay. Ashes in my pocket, every step I see will burn me into silence. Built authority, built authority. Some fires in, their lessons don't. I don't demand respect. I don't request it. I wait. I've seen men beg for attention like it owed them a name. I've seen men dressed like leaders, still shaking inside the frame. I learned early not to ask for a seat or a turn. I stood where nobody stood and let the silence learn. I don't correct their tone, I don't flinch at the test. I let time do what it does best, separate noise from respect. Respect earned without asking, respect earned without asking. I don't raise my hand in the room, they already see me standing. Respect earned without asking, respect earned without asking. I don't speak to be acknowledged, I'm acknowledged when I speak, when I speak. I've been overlooked on purpose, I've been tested in the dark, I've been watched for every weakness while I sharpened every scar. I didn't rush the recognition, I didn't chase the sound. I let consistency walk in and sit heavy on the ground. I don't interrupt the process, I don't rush the result. Pressure taught me patience, silence taught me control. Respect earned without asking, respect earned without asking. I don't need a title spoken when the posture does the talking. Respect earned without asking, respect earned without asking. I don't knock to enter rooms, they pause when I'm Respect earned without asking, not demanded, not claimed. It's the result of staying solid when everything else changed. Respect earned without asking. Respect earned without asking. I don't explain my position, I let my presence handle it. Respect earned without asking. Respect earned without asking. If the room goes quiet now, that's not accident. Not accident. Not accident. I've been questioned by impatience, I've been doubted by the loud, I've been asked to tell my story like my silence wasn't proud. I don't sharpen every sentence, I don't chase them to believe. Some truths lose all their value once you force them to be seen. I don't clarify my posture, I don't edit where I stand. If you don't feel it by now, you were never meant to understand. A gentleman never explains, a gentleman never explains. I don't argue with confusion, I let distance do the same. A gentleman never explains, a gentleman never explains. If you need it broken down, it was never yours to claim, never yours. I've seen men talk themselves smaller, every word another crack. I've seen mystery hold its shape while overtalk collapsed. I don't announce my intention, I don't publish what I know. Some things are meant to travel in the way you move, not show. I don't dress my truth in volume, I don't sell it with a grin. I let consistency arrive and let silence settle in. A gentleman never explains. A gentleman never explains. I don't rush to clear the air. I let time rearrange. A gentleman never explains. A gentleman never explains. If respect feels uncomfortable, that's not something I can change. Their back explanation is honesty. They confuse words with truth. But the cleanest form of integrity is living what you choose. I don't owe my past a speech. I don't owe my future noise. I let character speak fluently in every quiet choice. A gentleman never explains, not out of pride or defense, but because some standards lose their power once you put them in a sentence. A gentleman never explains. A gentleman never explains. I don't feel the silence nervously, I let it remain. A gentleman never explains. A gentleman never explains. If you feel the space between us now, that's the lesson. That's the lesson. I don't know clarity. I owe consistency. I used to explain myself. Now I just walk. I learned early not to lean on words that fall apart. I learned silence holds its shape when promises don't start. I've been bending for survival. I've been small inside a room. Now I stand the way I'm standing, like I've got nothing to prove. I don't rehearse my reasons, I don't soften what I am. Every step I take reminds me I survive without a plan. There's no apologies in my walk. No apologies in my walk. I don't look back at broken nights, I just keep moving forward. No apologies in my walk. No apologies in my walk. If I made it out alive, I don't owe nobody nothing. I don't owe nobody nothing. I've been judged by empty people with full mouths and hollow eyes. They spoke loud about their futures while I quietly survived. I've been wrong, I've been mistaken, I've been lost inside my skin, but I never begged forgiveness for becoming who I am. I don't polish up my past, I don't rewrite every fall. Every scar still tells the truth, even if it shocks them all. There's no apologies in my walk. No apologies in my walk. I don't bow to yesterday, I don't ask for closure. No apologies in my walk. No apologies in my walk. If my feet still hit the ground, that's the only proof I offer. Think pride is what I'm wearing, like a jacket stitched in stone. But this walk was built from nights I didn't think I'd make it home. They think strength just showed up one day, like it wasn't paid in pain. But every step is stitched together by the losses I contain. No apologies in my walk, not for leaving, not for staying. No apologies in my walk for the man I had to become. No apologies in my walk. No apologies in my walk. I don't explain my silence, I don't decorate my scars. No apologies in my walk. No apologies in my walk. If you feel uncomfortable now, it means I've gone too far. No apology. No apology. I don't walk to be forgiven, I walk because I earned it.
I don't talk much anymore. But this glass remembers everything. I don't tell my story to strangers, I Don't trust words in the light, but whiskey's been sitting here listening every lonely night. It's seen my hands stop shaking, it's seen my jaw stay tight. It knows which names I never say, which ones keep me up at night. I don't cry into the mirror, I don't beg the past to stay. I just pour another truth and let it burn its way. Whiskey knows my story, every chapter, every scar. Whiskey knows my story, who I was and who we are. Whiskey knows my story. Well, I don't have to explain, it doesn't ask me questions, it just listens to the pain. Just listen. I've smiled through conversations like nothing ever hurt. I've worn clean suits over damage like dirt couldn't stain my shirt. I've shaken hands with memories I promised I'd forget, but whiskey remembers everything. I try not to regret. I don't drink to feel important, I don't drink to feel brave. I drink to sit with honesty. I was never taught to say whiskey knows my story, the parts I never told. Whiskey knows my story, the nights that made me cold. Whiskey knows my story. No judgment in its eyes, it lets me be exactly who I am when the silence arrives. from the truth. I'm sitting right here. This glass didn't break my spirit, it just saw it when it cracked. Stayed when everyone else left and never talked back. Whiskey knows my story, not to glorify the fall, but to remind me I survived. Everyone, whiskey knows my story. Every bruise, every mile, whiskey knows my story. Why I don't smile, whiskey knows my story. And when the night gets long, it stays right here beside me until I'm strong. Until I'm strong. People forget whiskey Novembers.
Cigarette smoke in the hallway, cheap lights flicker like down. I've been standing in the same place while the world kept running out. Clean shoes on a dirty floor, suit pressed, heart still torn. I learned how to look like I'm winning while I'm bleeding in uniform. I don't smell like trouble, I don't look like pain, but every step I take tonight still echoes with my name. Cigarettes, smoking, clean shoes, that's how they remember me. Standing calm in the chaos, looking like I've got no history. Cigarettes, smoking, clean shoes, smoke fades, leather stays. I don't talk about where I've been, I just walk away. Yeah, just walk away. I've seen men lose their tempers over things they couldn't keep. I've seen love love turn into leverage, and promises fall asleep. I learned manners from my father. I learned silence from the street. I learned power doesn't panic when the night gets hard to breathe. I don't rush my exits. I don't chase applause. I let the smoke fill up the room while I stand where I belong. Cigarettes, smoking, clean shoes, still standing in the mess. Everybody smells like pressure. I smell like self-respect. Cigarettes, smoking, clean shoes, ash falls, posture stays. I don't fight for understanding. I just walk away. They think the shoes mean comfort. They think clean means safe. But they don't see how many nights I scrub the blood away. They think the smoke is casual, like I'm killing time. But it's the only thing reminding me I'll survive my own mind. Cigarettes, smoking, clean shoes, 1 foot in, 1 foot gone. I learned how to leave a room before it turns me wrong. Cigarettes, smoking, clean shoes, that's the picture they recall. A man to come for the damage, standing tall than the fall. Cigarettes, smoking, clean shoes, smoke fades, shoes shine. If you wonder how I made it out, I walked one step at a time. One step at a time. Some men smell like fear. Some men smell like smoke. I chose control. Power doesn't knock, it's already inside. I've never heard power ask permission, never seen it wait in line. It doesn't raise its hand for attention, it enters slowly right on time. I've seen men knock themselves empty, begging doors to recognize. But power doesn't need an opening, it moves when silence aligns. I don't knock on fragile egos, I don't test unstable ground. If I'm standing in the doorway, it's already settled down. Power doesn't knock, power doesn't knock. I don't announce my presence, I let the room unlock. Power doesn't knock, power doesn't knock. By the time you feel the pressure, I'm already involved. Already involved. I've watched force embarrass itself, trying hard to look in control. I've watched patience move the pieces while chaos played its role. I don't push against resistance, I don't rush the final door. If it doesn't open naturally, I don't need it anymore. I don't chase momentum, I don't knock twice. I wait until the moment invites. Power doesn't knock, power doesn't knock. I don't shake the handle, I don't test the lock. Power doesn't knock, power doesn't knock. If you hear footsteps now, it's already too late to stop. They think power announces itself with banners, threats, and sound. But real weight bends the atmosphere before it's even found. They think knocking is confidence, like asking proves demand. But power was never a question, it was always a command. Power doesn't knock, not loudly, not polite. It settles into position and owns the night. Power doesn't knock, power doesn't knock. I don't enter dramatically, I simply arrive and lock. Power doesn't knock, power doesn't knock. If the room feels different now, that's the cost. That's the cost. That's the cost. Power doesn't knock, it stays. I don't raise my fists, I lower my pulse. I've seen anger ruin focus. I've seen rage forget its aim. I learned early in the chaos, calm survives the flame. While they pace the room in circles, I sit still and breathe. While they talk themselves into corners, I watch the exits lead. I don't interrupt the moment, I don't rush to be heard. Every second I'll stay silent, sharpens every word. Calm is my weapon, calm is my weapon. I don't swing first, I let the tension settle. Calm is my weapon, calm is my weapon. While they lose control, I stay level. I stay level. I've watched pressure change its shape when it couldn't break my frame. I've watched threats turn into questions when I didn't play their game. I don't flex inside the conflict, I don't rush the end. I let silence do the damage, I let patience bend them in. I don't harden up my posture, I don't show my hand. The quieter the room gets, the more they understand. Calm is my weapon, calm is my weapon. I don't need to shout, I don't need protection. Calm is my weapon, calm is my weapon. When emotions spike and shatter, mine stays center. They think calm means I'm detached, like I don't feel the heat. But calm was built from nights I barely stayed on my feet. They think rage is honest, they think fire means truth. But calm is what remains when fear has nothing left to prove. Calm is my weapon, not 'cause I don't care, but because I learned control is rarer than despair. Calm is my weapon, calm is my weapon. I don't break the silence, I become it. Calm is my weapon, calm is my weapon. If the room feels smaller now, that's not an accident. Not an accident. Not an accident. Loud men fight, calm men decide. guitar in my hands, strings worn thin by truth. Every note I ever played, still humming in the wood. I played it when I was hungry, I played it when I was small. Now it sounds like decision, not a question at all. I don't tune out the damage, I let it ring its way. Every scar became a lesson, every lust knew where to stay. Oh, guitar, new authority, same hand, different ground. Oh, guitar, new authority, I don't chase the sound. Oh, guitar, new authority, I don't need to prove. I let the past keep playing while I choose how I move. How I move. I played for empty barrooms, I played for broken nights, I played to stay away when nothing felt right. Now I play less, listen more, let the silence breathe. The louder the room gets, the clearer it comes to me. I don't rush the recognition, I don't borrow style. This authority was earned one mile at a time. Oh, guitar, new authority, no rush, no disguise. Oh, guitar, new authority, you can hear it in my stride. Oh, guitar, new authority, I don't fight for control, I let experience talk while ego lets go. They think age dulls the blade, like time makes fire weak. But time sharpened my patience and taught my hands to speak. They think power comes from noise, from fresh faces, new skin. but authority is what remains when the audience leaves. Oh, guitar, new authority, not louder, just clear. Every note knows its place now and why it's here. Oh, guitar, new authority, same soul, calmer tone. Oh, guitar, new authority, I finally sound like home. Oh, guitar, new authority, if you feel it in your chest, that's years learned.